Welcome, 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 gang. I think we're live. Adjust our volume a little here. How's that sounding? Let's see if we're live. Last time I was losing mad frames, y'all, so we're gonna see if that's happening to us again today. I couldn't even stream last time. Oh, gosh. I think we're okay so far. Jeez, I'm sick, or stuffy as you can hear. Straight up this morning, team. Alright, I think we're actually good this time. I think we're good, gang. Oh, God, I blew my nose. 1 sec. Market is straight up right now. Oh, jeez, it didn't blow it up, man. That was stuffy. 1 second, gang. We got all the way up to the 979s there. Now we're starting to give a little sell-off. A little selly action. A little selly on. With the Seliante. Yo, what the selly on? 1 second. Last thing here. Alright, let's get these accounts ready. Bink, bop, boom, bop. Bink, bop, boom. Let's get these cleared. Let's take a quick look at our hourly. We had a small gap that we already crushed into a big level here that we're already rejecting off of. Interesting, interesting, team. Was that the gap close? Yeah, that just targeted the gap. Starting to find some buying in this area here. We're selling one here. We're shorting one contract so far. Looking for a push back in this direction. See if we can get past the CMA. Already finding some support though. Already finding some support off the CMA. Want to see this push towards these other wicks. See the reaction. We're only in one contract here to see if the bulls are really in. We already had a gap close, so the bulls definitely could be in. I just want to kind of be in with this and see participation. Seeing some strength right off the top. These wicks are going to kind of give us some more clear information. Opening print price. We got short at the opening print price, so. Starting to see a little bit of a reaction towards this interesting there at that level. Still holding it short. Not upset with it yet. If we get a closure in around these prices, around these other wicks where we had that big sell-off come in, then we can consider changing this. But as of right now, I'm still targeting the bottom of this wicks and potentially down here as well. Just gonna give this a little bit of time. Just gonna give this a little bit of time now. See if we can get back through our price now and the EMA. EMA is gonna have to not hold. If we do get below here, we should see a little pull. If we get back below this, I'm gonna add a second contract. If we get a closure down here, I'm adding a second contract into this. See if we can target these wicks. If we get a candle closure below this bottom, I'm gonna add. It's looking decent so far. Below this previous bottom, we're gonna add into this contract. We're starting to get some wicks though, so it's a little discouraging. You can see like the 3 times that we're getting into these prices, we're finding some buying out of it. So I want to see that start to clear. Again, closure below this previous white candle, I'm going to add another contract. We got it, so we're in. Adjust our stop there. Hopefully we can get a pull now. This previous wick is going to be the obstacle here. If we have more wicks like this, this is going to be a sign that the buyers might be trying. Hopefully the sellers can bring this through that previous bottom there. Now that we are into here, we are going to have a tighter stop. But you can see the reaction from the buyers. That wick is the only thing that we're kind of afraid of. Now we have quad wick down here, which always indicates that there's just signs of activity. People are interested in buying this, as we're interested in selling it. So, going to be quickly monitoring this one. This is either going to get us a breakdown through this previous spot here to come get us our fill at the 900s, or we're going to find a reaction and just be out of this pretty quickly. So these quad wicks here are kind of dangerous, I'm not going to lie. This next candle is going to have to prove itself, or else we're probably going to get out of this position. This candle's got to have to prove itself, which would be breaking through some of these wicks here. Otherwise, we continue to hold here. I'm going to probably close this. Want to see this thing in reverse at that EMA is a good spot. Eat some of these wicks up. The more the buying is here, the stronger that they're going to be defending these wicks. Got to get a push now through there. Yeah, I'm not really seeing the reaction that I want to be seeing, gang. Truly. And it's tough because we're at an interesting spot where I want to see this try a little harder to push through here. Alright, sellers. They're showing you now. Get through that other wick. Get through this other wick here. Okay. I'm putting break even on at least now. So now we're pretty much risk free. We may get to the 900 whole number here and pass these, but we're risk free. If we can get through these previous wicks, those are going to be the obstacles. Right into VWAP should be pretty safe. Into the 910s now, 900s, 907s. $900 whole number is a little risky, I feel like, but we'll see if we can get a fill, boys. Early trade, eh? A little bit of an earlier trade, Sauce. Seeing if we could be in the swing of things today. Trying to decide if I think this bottom is going to be enough here. If we're going to go push that 900. Feels like we might. Alright. Feel confident now at the 905s. Teasing the 900 whole number there. Oh, goodness, huh? Alright, gang. Let's make sure everyone's following there. 5159. We made it halfway through. Good short there off the retry of this break here. It's a really solid trade in general. Into the VWAP now. This bottom down here is fragile, in my opinion, this double bottom. Crazy. Crazy. We catch a fatty here. An absolute fatty. I think we got short with that first one, up around these 40s. Added back in on a break below this bottom here. Yeah, it's a good trade overall. Dubs, dubs, dubs. Selling in the 860s now. What bottom are we kind of looking at? Potentially low day 805. So we'll see how we deliver there, but that's kind of what we're looking at. The further we move away from this 935, the more it looks like we're going to find some selling for the end of the day. Again, these bottoms down here are pretty weak at the 800s, but we'll see. Pretty big move from the sellers already, from the 979s down to the 869s. About 110 points off the top. But what up, y'all? How's everyone's trading going? 7 of y'all homies hanging out. Let me know, let me know. Hit the like button if y'all haven't. Is this Mar? Is this my boy fucking Juan? Are we in here? Sylvian, Santiago. Who's in here hanging out? K9 or KC? Pushing into the 860s. Again, the bottom that's kind of fragile is this double bottom down here with the wick, and then the London low, these 300 or this 800 whole number, which also lines up with last week's price as well for an 800 bottom. So could definitely be a target for the day. How quickly we deliver there, I'm not sure. We're starting to get a little bit of speed, just kind of vertical right now by the sellers. Off the 42s there, starting to find a small reaction. This could be your first time to try to get in short if you haven't yet. Excuse me. If you haven't gotten in on this short yet, this could be an opportunity. Waiting for a pullback on one of these prices. Maybe this VWAP short or pullback, like this 83 price, 84 price. Could be a decent short. 83s, 84s if you haven't gotten into it yet. Bum 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 bum. Hey. Hey, my boy Juan. What's up, Juan? How we doing, King? Man, I keep having these days, and now we got to see it on the other side, bro. Got to get these things passed, and then I'm ready for a payout. You feel me, Juan? I'm adjusting, going back to the other strategy for a little bit. Going to build up some buffer. Here we go. This is closer to the 93, 94 short, or the 83, 84 short, if you haven't gotten in this move yet. We're going to be bouncing off the bottom of this VWAP and EMA lineup. I'd be short around 84 exactly. So we would be Not quite tapped in yet. 84 is straight there. Teasing a tap in. As you can see, there's going to be some resistance here. Sellers are loading here. So this is a fairly safe spot. You might get a little pop, but it's a fairly safe spot to take some size. All right, I'd be in now officially 84. Oh, shit. My boy Mar. 3 lots long. What a king. Okay. So he's long off this push down here. First 15 minutes are in. Let me just take a gander. Highs here. This is our bottom. Pretty solid move in general. Marched along 3 contracts on ES, though. Hope you had a good weekend, Mar. You 2 won. Hope you all got to do what you needed to. This hourly candle is trying to threaten this again. 50% now. See the reaction. This gap fill is getting threatened already. Pretty crazy. We had a straight move down and now reversing it. Oh, shoot. We would have been ripped at those 84s, so. I'm still overall kind of bearish. Mar, I feel like this bottom down here is fairly weak. It's 800 whole number on the NAS. But let's see what happens. Excuse me. Let's see what happens. You targeting all time still? And we do have a nice. There is some liquidity above as well. That makes a lot of sense. Nice little structure that we're building out here on the hourly on the NASDAQ. We start getting a break of this. This could be pretty crazy as well. So. When we get a break of this trend line, this is a macro hourly trend line. We get a break of that, Mar. You're in for Valhalla, buddy. This to me is kind of like price validating where it left from. If we can't hold through this, we're going to go try that VWAP again. Otherwise, we're going to keep pushing to the top of this 15-minute, which would be a breakout of this trend as well. So there's some options. Not a fan of that sound. A little too chaotic right there. I'm in longs, 3 lots. Trying this V recovery. This is a lot of strength. I'm also seeing a lot of strength here. The longs are looking at it to be supported. You have an inversion here that was completely inverted already. So a pullback into these prices could be interesting. Currently up 1.5, looking for 20 points. Profit would be $4,000 fucking dollars. Mar, I swear to God, you're crushing lately, bro. This is everyday shit for you, huh? Good work. Freaking sexy, buddy. So you're targeting. Yeah, you done ES. Here, we'll take a peek at ES real quick. Because Mar's in there, the big trade. See what we got going on over here. already breaking through the top of the 15-minute range on ES. You can see the divergence. NQ is still trapped in around this area right now. But it's a strong move, which would definitely possibly indicate some continuation. This is already the gap close and now a retest of this price. That sell-off wasn't nearly as intense on ES either. Just hit my trail, 1.8K profit. I'm going back to bed, brother. Take it easy, King. Sleep good in your throne. Good work, man. For real. Enjoy your rest and the rest of your week. Start the week. Hope to see you here tomorrow, pal. Rest up. Pull back into this EMA now. I'd be looking for long continuations off of any of these pullbacks, maybe. I mean, ES and NQ are a little diverted. You can see the difference here, so take with that as you will. I don't know what you trade or what you like, but those are slightly diverged. Great trade, though, Mar. Holding this as VWAP. Excuse me. ES is already broken through here. This 15-minute range and this trend line. They're starting to retest into this price. So a little bit of a different chart, but still you can see some strength. Still, we can see some strength. Bum, 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 bum. Doing a little bit of congestion today, boys. Fuck. The opposite of what the vibe is. Starting to hold this 50% in this VWAP, finding a little bit of strength. I think if we continue to hold where these previous wicks were this morning, where there was obviously some resistance before they even gave it up, when I were retesting another wick on that price, I think around, if we can break through these previous tops, obviously longs are in, but if you want to even have a safer entry, to be put closer to towards this VWAP, like the 910. But that's also a little bit risky because ES has already swept these highs. So here's the last chance of the pullback into this price. I'd be willing to take a stab at. Would be like right here at this EMA. I'd be long right now. The 13s. If this breaks below VWAP and this 50%, you know it's dead. So you have a tight stop, high upside, potentially going to take these tops that ES has already swept. Just an option, something to consider. Or we go break down and break the previous bottom that's fairly weak as well. It's going to depend here. Oh, VWAP, that wasn't even VWAP. Okay. My VWAP wasn't adjusted, so we're well above VWAP now. Okay. Well, then even more, then you want to see this price hold. You don't want to see this bottom give out of the 900s. If you're long, you want to see this continue to find some strength. Otherwise, we're going to round back in towards VWAP. This is the inversion price, though. So these are all technically decent longs here. Inversion price. You see what I'm seeing? Any long in this price would be pretty clean, pretty safe. I probably would put my order closer to like the 92s here. Looking for VWAP test and hold. And yeah, I'd have my stop at the other side of this box. Probably a couple points. It's kind of the trade I'd be looking at. Be something like that if we get a fill down towards this price. It'd be something like that if we get a fill towards this VWAP price again. Into this box, in the inversion, see if we can find some support. Ideally, we get a little bit lower. Use the 902s. 900 whole numbers being a little bit of a resistance. You can also see this trend line that we're starting to create and hold on the day, on the minute. Some buy side liquidity if we can get there. Still looking for a fill hypothetically around this VWAP price I'd be considering. You see those, some previous wicks starting to hold a little bit. Makes me think we're going to get the dump soon. Bum, 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 bum. Defending this box. In the EMA, the buyer's going to push here. If they get back above that trend line, that's going to be a little bit strong. We wouldn't even have this in yet. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Just because I want to see the visual. I want to see this visual box play out. You feel me? We'd be looking for an entry around this price if we can get it, boys. For now, we watch. For now, we just watch. Starting to find a little bit of a reaction off this box. Imbalance, inversion, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Getting closer towards where we'd really want it to be for our entry around VWAP and this price here. Could be an option. Bump, 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 bump. Feel like a Monday, no? Man, does it feel like a Monday, gang. You know, just Monday vibes. No, nothing crazy, just Monday vibes. Oh, my nose. Reacting to me. Well, so far we haven't moved a whole lot since the initial moves this morning. Went all the way up to the 979, sold into the 840s, and now we're kind of going sideways above VWAP, consolidating closer towards this gap fill price. Looks like we're starting to hold this inversion, so longs could be in. Take profits. Oh, we have a big hourly trend line over here. Longs appear to be in possibly here, boys. We never got to fill at the 90 or the 893s that we were looking for. Box was just respected nearly entirely. We'll see if that continues. Again, we got this big hourly trend line here. We already closed the gap for this morning, starting to hold around there. Rejection from this previous price could be interesting. Starting to see a little bit of a curl and pop here. Got to get above this previous spots around in the 36s for the longest to continue here. Excuse me. Jeez. Still holding around these 35s here. Again, I got to get through that for the longest to continue here. Decent structure. I don't really see a reason this would break down now that we've created all these support, but we'll see what happens. Decent structure. I love that I'm not dropping frames and lagging like last time. I don't know what was up with that stream Friday, but man, that was a bummer. Excuse me. Holy Monday, huh? Holy Monday. Certainly not Wednesday. It's definitely not Friday, so. Certainly doesn't feel like a Wednesday, and it's definitely not Friday, so. Getting above these 35s, we can definitely see the longs to continue. This is going to be the only obstacle with lots of support. 15-minute range above and this over hourly trend line above as well. We already closed the gap fill. That's going to be right around the same price with its previous highs. We keep pushing through the 30s. We should be okay to see some higher prices. We had this inversion as well that we supported. decent structure for longs if we wanted to see some continuation here. Oh, excuse me. Slowly just inching higher right now. Inching higher. We're above the gap. Above this previous high. Starting to react from it, though. We got news tomorrow. We do. We do, in fact, have news tomorrow. Cool. Well, you guys are looking at it. That's what we're offering right now. That's what the old NASDAQ's doing. Hanging around opening print price right now. Holding at the gap fill, where the gap started last night. Kind of going sideways from here. Participation's fairly balanced. This is a Monday in the chat, huh, boys? We still sleepy? No coffee? Your boy's not a caffeine drinker myself, so always on that natural. Always on that natural energy. Here we go. Starting to find a little bit of support still. Again, haven't really gone anywhere, but the buying is holding. Now they're starting to get a push into the 40s. Tapping into opening print price there. Finding some sells. This is what a battle price looks like. Fairly sideways action here. Still going sideways here. Again, this is a battle price. This is where the gap opened up this week. We had some previous wicks here, previous high here. We're just seeing who wants to go take the advantage. Right now, it's feeling pretty balanced. Holy cow. Excuse me. Your boy's feeling it. It's like a Monday or something. Fuck. Starting to turn at that previous high a little bit here. Getting back in towards these wicks now. The seller's going to take this thing down. Let's find out. Let us find out, huh, sir? And that's a decent reaction from the buyers. Really strong move from the buyers. That to me would indicate continuation. Pushing back into this zone so strong. I'd be now immediately looking for fills around this 932 price. That is a strong candle from the buyers there. About 30 points. And closing near the top of the breakout as well. Really strong. I'd be pulling long any pullback in like these 34s. Off this next candle, hopefully it would fill us. Definitely assuming to see some continuation now off of that strength. We had the big push down candle, and then immediately the strength from the buyer said, no, we like that price. Into these wicks like we mentioned. So now we got to just see this thing decide if it's going to go take out this high here, or we have higher than that even in play possibly. ES looks a little stronger. Yeah, I'd definitely be long. We've seen the support that we needed to see, especially after this previous push here to defend that just where the gap opened up last week or this week where this started. Sellers defended that move. Buyers said no. Buyers said no. I like this price, sir. Sir, this make me happy. I like this price. I buy this price. I see the price. I consider. I say okay, good deal. I buy price. And now we're getting a push. We are getting to a push. Top of the 15-minute range is the 981s, threatening the 23,000 whole number. Found some support down below VWAP and at VWAP. So, yeah, longs could be in here, gang. At least till the top of this 15-minute range break. At least, maybe. Possibly, maybe. It's a possibility, sir. The sign of the strength was really that this decision here. Round out to previous high, slowly start earning or respect this imbalance. Try out the previous high again. Slowly start rounding. Sellers say, okay, we are in control here, and then the buyer said no. And then the buyer said no. Say, you like this price, seller? Oh, I like this price more. And they smacked the bid, and now we are threatening the top of the 15-minute range at the 950s, about 28 points from the top of the 15 minutes for the daily range, which also would be our initial balance high, and then also, so far, initial balance high at least, and threatening an hourly breakout here on this trend line. So we'll see what happens. It's looking pretty strong here, though, gang. The structure that we needed to see for longs is in. Now we see what happens here. Bum 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 bum. NASDAQ trying the 63s out here. Threatening the top of this 15-minute range. Looking pretty bullish. Really is. We've seen the support we needed to see. Yeah. Sorry about that. But we got to push down into the threatening the London low. Got a strong reaction out of it. Created an imbalance. Respected it so far. Got another push off of the gap close from the sellers. Buyers reclaimed that, and now off of that move here, we would be looking for a push to the top of this 15-minute range. Set a new imbalance, a new balance for the new high for the initial balance. Thank you. Language, English, sir. Do you have? Do you speak English? Do you speak the English? No hables inglés. No, sí, no. Trying to take out these wicks here. This previous big wick at the 931s is the obvious obstacle. The initial balance high here. But buying looks in. I'm all congested. No bueno. There's bueno and then there's no bueno. And this is closer to no bueno. This closer to no bueno. Bueno? No bueno. It's not in my nose is not a bueno. Holding these 60s. And again, we would have been long from all these opportunities here. I got long again at the 34. Do we even get 34? Probably not. Buying looks in though. Buyers look strong. They're interested in some higher prices. Also, check out this hourly candle. We had this doji at the sweep of the gap from this week. Sellers tried to keep it pushed down, but buyers reclaimed it, claiming that gap open and close again. So, again, a lot of the structure that we would be needing to see if we want to believe this continuation and the strength on a Monday, it's here. We have seen the structure. We're seeing the support. We're seeing what we want to see. And now it's up to the NASDAQ. It's out of our control. It's out of our hands. It's up to you, Nazi. What do you want to do, girl? What do you like? 7 green candles in a row with a doji at the top of these wicks. Interesting. This is all very interesting. It's all quite amusing. Kind of expecting a boner candle. There it is. The second I said the word boner, we pushed right through. Look at that push there into the 980s, taking out the 15-minute range. Like I said, the buying was in from here. We could see the support. We could see the support that was structured. Really decent. Yeah, good structure in here in general. Decent narrative for the day. Longs looking like they're in. Threatening this hourly. Look at this hourly here. Technically, we already sort of broke that, but it's not really. It's not the most attractive trend line, so. But we are bullish. Nonetheless, the sweep to the 988s is a bullish move by the buyers here. All the way from the 840s. They're up another 140 points from this morning sell-off. We found some support. Pushed back to VWAP. Created an inversion. Supported it twice. And now here we go. Now the NASDAQ said, I want higher. The NASDAQ said, give me the 23,000 whole number back, please. I like the 23s. And then we just have to step to the side and give it to her, you know? It's like, okay, girl, whatever you want. Like, who am I to tell you what you can and can't have? If you want it, it's yours. You understand? If you want it, it's yours, girl. Go get it. Go get that 23,000 NASDAQ. It's yours. No one's stopping you. Bum, 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 bum. Be a little bit cautious now, though. Right? It's 10:30. Our market's been open for an hour now, almost. We did sweep this, so we have new initial balance highs here. So, I mean, yeah. The strength. The sexiness of the strength on the buyers. Still holding. 10 minutes of just straight green so far. 10 green candles in a row. We already pushed through the 15-minute range. We're starting to create a new range here. If we're able to hold above this with these wicks off a pullback retest, off like into this area, start defending these 70s, 80s pullback, man, the 23,000s will probably give. Then we get into the 23,000s. From there, there's upside. There's just upside. You know, it's just upside because the NASDAQ right now. By the way, I do want to take a peek at ES because it was already looking stronger. So it's, yeah. I mean, she looks stronger than the ES NQ does today. We never even got into round VWAP on ES. NQ looked a little bit weaker, but still, let me take a selfie. Because once the signs were in, the signs were in. Testing back to the previous 15-minute range high with the wick. Starting to throw a little bit of structure. Testing the EMA as well. If your gonads were a giant, this would be an opportunity for a long. If your gonads were like just kind of like a little like titanium, you know what I mean? A little tougher material, then you might be able to handle something like this. But if they're mere flesh like the average folk, I'd probably sit on the sides. Let a little bit more play out here. Starting to hold a little bit of structure at the 975. Again, like I said, if the buyers can defend this pullback attempt into this wick, and they show that they're okay with this, I think 23,000 is a lock. If the buyers are defending this pullback into the 70s, 80s, saying this EMA push, 23,000 could be a lock. If not, we're gonna go push back in. We already swept the high, and this will be the new initial balance high, and we'll come back and test some of these prices that we broke from. But A or the B. Either this or this. You choose. You have this or you have this. Which one? You'll not have both. No, you'll not have both. Just one. Currently, we are turning at the 70s, looking at the 65s in the EMA. Will the buyers defend and hold this wicks? Like I said, we're going to try in these wicks, I assumed, where price left from. And if it's up to the buyers here to decide what they want, if they're going to defend this again like they were down here, then we're going to go push to the 23s. This is this option. And if they do not, then we push back down here, and this is this option. Red or the green, boy? Up or down? What it is that you believe in the most? I'm losing my mind, I guess. Market's been open for 56 minutes, gang. 56 minutes. Initial balance is almost a lock. Sorry. I bet whistling on that mic is horrible. I apologize for doing that to you. Yeah. No bueno. Excuse me. Here we go. Trying to test into these wicks again. Just finding a little bit of lack of volume from the sellers. And they said no. No, there's not lack of us, Tyler. No, there's not a lack of us, sir. So yeah, so look, we got a defending of the imbalance, push towards the top of the 15-minute range, a sweep, and now we're retrying it by the sellers to keep it in that zone. Pull it back into this previous resistance at the 950s. The 23,000 said no. This music's alright, but I'm gonna give it one of those. Give it one of those. Breath through my nose does not feel great. Quite lame, actually. Actually, that's pretty lame if you're thinking about it. Like, if you actually think about it. Pull back into where the gap was open and created. Back into the 940s. Big push from the sellers off the top of the sweep of the 15-minute range. Boom. Into the 30s now. Big move by the sellers. Big move by the sellers. Yup. Pushing back in towards this price where price finally launched from. Is this going to be where you find the continuation of these buyers to support this push again? Or are we going to get a push back towards this VWAP now finally? Excuse me. Pushing back into the zone. I would not be making any decisions here. Just kind of watching, hanging out, letting some more play out. Kind of nothing to do but sit on the hands here if you haven't made any trades yet. Curious how they counted this. Is it 2 trades or 1? It is. It's 2 trades. So I took a short at the 42s. And then I got a pullback. And then I shorted again at the 34s and got out of both at the 900s. Interesting. So it was 2 trades. And we could have brought that thing down to the 840s. Pretty interesting. Starting to defend this little price here. I would maybe be considering a short if we get back towards these tops on the other side of CMA, like not 55 short possibly, but again, that requires a little bit of gonads. Jeez, I'm like yeah. Still waking up over here, clearly. Like I said, I'd be looking for a 55 short right now. If you wanted to have big old, thick, gnarly fucking bollocks about ya. Yeah, strong bollocks, boy. Your bollocks are strong. Looks like we may not get back to the EMA price here. Sellers might just have their way. Or the buyer's going to defend. It's looking a little slippery. You could slip it out of your hands if you're not paying attention. Like a little slimy little fish just out of the water. Shit's so slippery. Oh, why is it so slippery? The sellers give up the 30s. We're into the 20s now. Sellers giving it up. We're into the 20s now. Back to the 30s, actually. Starting to show a little bit of support at this previous spot where price left from. Previous wicks here, double times that we had a high here. So overall, this 30 price is a big battle price for the day. Buyers and sellers have taken this thing from here, so have taken control of this price from here. So gotta let this see the reaction. I would not be entering the 30s. It is a battle price. Defended by the buyers here, owned by the sellers, respected by the buyers, finally claimed, and now reacting back towards this price. So multiple touch points today. I would be avoiding this specific price from after the breakout from here. You should be able to know which direction we're heading. If we push back above the 30s, well, and if we push below, well, bum 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 bum. Threatening these 20 break. Threatening a 20s break here. I'm interested to see what happens here. Again, this has been a pretty battled price, so it looks like sellers may be on the other side of it, slowly etching this thing down. But you always know that one good thick green candle can come in at any moment, especially being on this side of the VWAP with some support. It does just feel as though buying is just a little slowed up and exhausted here. Every pot feels a little slower than you would kind of expect to see at a price level like that. Back to the EMA, towards the top of where the gap started for the week. Big resistance spots previously for the 9:30. See what happens here. If the buyers can reclaim this EMA and start getting another push, that could be very indicative that that 30's held. If the sellers push off this EMA and get closer off of the bottom, then we could be looking closer towards VWAP. So it's, like I said, a battle price, something I would kind of be avoiding right now in general. Going sideways here, off of that push, off of the rejection of the 15-minute range. We've just kind of gone sideways in a tight little range here. Buyers are trying the 40s now. Will they hold above the EMA and get a push? Oh, Lordy, they're trying. Can they get there? Can they hold the 40s? Yeah. I mean, for the last 10 minutes, we've been in a 25 to 20 point range the last 25 minutes. So, or last 12 minutes. Buyers are trying down the other side of it, though. Would have to get a closure at 45 to get a break out of this little trend, this little range. Just hit the beach man stretch. Felt good. Felt good. And buyers are trying to see if they want to hold this pullback. Not really buying it, though. Not really believing. Not a believer yet. Sellers are defending this push. Again, last 12 minutes, we've just gone sideways here, so. Feels like a low volume day in general. We're back inside of this range. Threatening to be back inside of this range. Buyers couldn't hold the 40s. The 45 push. They just tried again there. Fairly big reaction from the sellers, considering. Just very balanced here, so. Not a lot going on. That's going to wrap it up for me today, gang. I'm going to get out of here. Tim, I don't know if you're watching, but I love you, buddy. Juan, if you're in here, good luck. Brett, I'm not sure if you're watching either. Not really sure who the two homies are hanging out, but y'all mean a lot. If you could hit the like button, helps also a ton. And we'll be back tomorrow trying to pass these accounts. These are our last set of combines for the month for Topstep. It's only halfway through the month, so I do pass these. Yeah, we're going to be trying some other options probably, but that's only in worst case scenario, right? We don't really care about worst case scenario because we're going to run these motherfuckers up. Oh, yeah. All right, gang. I'll catch y'all. I hope you guys get some sun, drink some water, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.